Christmas tree up. It's...
Why are you criticizing me?
It's July.
Dead. Hey guys, and welcome back to Third Act. This week we're going to be reviewing Freaky Friday from Dancing at Tiffany's. We had such a great time. We got to do a few behind the scenes things for them, as you may have seen our promo video. We also got to design the promotional poster for the show, as well as their playbill, which was new territory for us, but it was really cool and it was a fun experience. So with this show, we were able to see it more than once. We saw it twice, once on Friday night and once for the Saturday matinee, and our lovely friend Billy joined us for the Friday performance.
That's right.
And it was so fun to
It was
watch
a lot
it.
of fun.
We had like a good group of people with us.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of fun. And so this is our very first roundtable review, which I'm super excited about because you guys will get to see a different perspective other than the two of us that you've been seeing up until this point. And I think it's really cool that we're adding our team members to that because you'll get to see what they think when they go see these shows.
Yeah.
So let's get right into it. All right, so for those of you who are not familiar with the history of Freaky Friday, it was originally published as a book in 1972, which was then adapted into a movie, the first movie, in 1976, then again in 1995, then again in 2003, which is the one that we're probably the most familiar with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis, and then once more in 2018, which was the musical adaptation that premiered originally in 2016 on stage. So it's had quite a few adaptations, but like I said, the one we know the most is the Lindsay Lohan, Jamie Lee Curtis one.
We grew up with that movie.
Yeah, that one was like, I thought that was the first movie that was ever
Me
made.
too. That's why I was like, that's so cool that they thought about that. Well, let's get started with the technical elements of the show. I think the coolest part about their tech was when they did that car scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the coolest thing. They used somebody's body to mimic a car while everything else was blacked out, and they had two spotlights on the people that were sitting in the car. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, like one of my friends who was sitting right by me, he said, or he didn't notice the person doing the spotlight thing.
Oh, really?
And when he got up, he was like, whoa, that was a person? And I was like, yeah, like you didn't see him like set up like the first time?
I think the first time, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe he did this in the rehearsal, because we saw one of the rehearsals before. I want to say the first night he rolled out already sitting in position. So I think they just came and kind of like sat down, so that's why you didn't notice it.
Oh, okay.
But the second night that I saw it, I think that's when he pushed it out and then sat down and set
okay.
himself. So I think I could see why your friend was like freaking out.
It was completely seamless. Like, you know, you're still immersed in the whole play, and that scene when they set it up, like it was really nice.
And to have to do that for like a whole song,
I
like
know.
that's kind of like, I mean, I'm sure he was like resting on their knees and stuff.
Yeah.
But like,
No, yeah,
still,
but-
that's like, I mean, putting your arms out like that and making sure that it's like staying
It
still.
stays like that? Yeah.
Super creative.
My thing with the technical elements of it were the lighting in the back. So on the psych, which is the very furthest back part of the stage, the white thing that usually is when they project lights of color on it. When they did the switch, it was like purple almost, and then it went to green, or like it kind of like it signified like something changed.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty cool. I like that, and it did that a little bit throughout the show, but not as much. But that's when I noticed it in the song where they switched the hourglass.
Well, did they have the same problem when you guys went to the Saturday matinee with the mics, or no?
At the beginning, no,
No.
because when we sat down and everything, we were like, okay, like they fixed it. Like it doesn't sound like it's like being like, you know, like rubbed against something.
Yeah.
And then I think in the middle of the first song or after the first song is when I noticed it again. And I was like, okay. But that's a technical issue that really isn't on the actors.
Yeah, it's
They
sometimes
had
out of people's control.
They had a tough time trying to balance out the mics, and there was a lot of static and there was a lot of interference, I want to say, but it could be either damaged mics, damaged cords, damaged speakers. I mean, it could literally be anything, and that's completely out of their hands, you know.
It is, yeah.
I mean, the second day that we went, it sounded a lot better.
Yeah.
It really did. But they worked through it. I didn't see them
either reacting to it, or I didn't see them like kind of get taken back by it. They just kept going,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
very professional. I
Very
mean,
professional, because I mean, I would have kept going through it, but it would still bother the hell out
Yeah.
of me. Like, I mean, I think I'd be like, okay, like this is really getting on my nerves. Like,
Yeah.
I really need someone to fix this because I can't do this.
mhm.
And I'm sure, just as it was for us, like I'm sure they were, you know,
As frustrated.
yeah, as frustrated as some of the audience members
You
were.
know, I felt so bad.
Yeah.
You know, they
But
got past it.
They did get past it, and I feel like in some points of the show, it was hard to decipher what they were saying.
Mhm.
But having seen these kids in rehearsals, which is not something that we get to do a lot, but having seen them in rehearsals, I don't feel that this had to do anything with their diction. It was purely just because the mics were so like
Yeah.
staticky that it was kind of hard to understand them at certain points.
Yeah.
But the kids who didn't have mics did kind of benefit from that because it was easier for them to just project.
Let me, skip through this beautiful playbill.
Wow. Thanks. All right, so segueing into the performance elements of the show, I feel like my favorite part about the show was how they had kids from everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think it was kind of like, almost like, not an homage, but like a tribute to the talent that the RGV has to offer.
That's what I
that-
like about Dancing at Tiffany's, that they do that they do shows that haven't been done here before, and that they incorporate like high school kids, adults,
Yeah.
little ones,
I think it was really cool. It was really cool to see. And yes, I mean, it is a smaller part of the valley. It's not the valley as a whole, but
Yeah.
I mean, you had people from Palmview, you had people from Sherryland, you had people from Edinburgh, you had people
Mhm.
from McAllen, you had people from BSJA. So it was just all across the board, and I thought it was a really cool way to showcase that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think they placed everyone where they fit best.
And everybody shined. Like everybody was really,
Yeah.
really good in their
Yeah.
parts.
Yeah.
And I just kind of want to add what blew me away, like the first time that or the only time that I saw the show, was the singing, the
Yeah.
ensemble singing. Like I remember sitting there and I was like, wow. There's one or several parts that were like pretty
Yeah, they were
awesome.
pretty
Yeah.
powerful. I think
You
when
know?
they came together as a group vocally,
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's when it was like, okay, like screw the mics, like I mean, like
Yeah.
we can hear you. So I thought that was really cool, and I mean, a lot of the ensemble members, especially, were so good at like not sounding out of breath. Like I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
it does help that they didn't have mics to like kind of isolate that, but
Yeah.
I mean, those kids did it. Like they went through it, and I think all these kids were in their own theater departments back at school. So I mean, that really showed in this performance. I literally gushed so hard about Haley's acting. Like,
Yeah.
I think she is a phenomenal actress and just a phenomenal performer that literally just gives you everything that she
Yeah.
has when
Yeah.
she's on stage. And I mean, I literally was just blown away once again. Like every time that I see this girl, like I was just blown away by what she put out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, oh,
This was your
my
first
God.
time seeing Haley.
Yeah. And
Oh yeah, that's true.
and I mean I can tell that she gave 120% into that role. I mean, she did phenomenal. So
I think one of my favorite moments in the acting part was when they switched.
Mhm.
Yes.
It was so quick.
Yeah.
For those of you who haven't seen the musical, again, look up the bootleg. It's under Trippy Thursday on YouTube. But if you look at the bootleg, like it's so quick, and they just switched. Like both of them just kind of like set in, like okay, now I'm the mom and you're the daughter,
Yeah.
and it was so cool to see that, and I really enjoyed that moment in the show.
and I feel like that's really difficult to do, to kind of
It is.
sell
It
that
is.
that switch off of characters,
It
you know,
really
because
is.
they're essentially playing two different characters. You know, they have to play. Fatima has to play her character, and then she has to play the mom, and then Haley as well. So I mean, it's really hard to kind of sell that kind of switch off.
Mhm.
Yeah, it
So
really
kudos to them both for actually selling that. That was
I know.
really great.
Yeah, because not only do you have to like show it in like how you talk and like your acting, but your body language
Mhm.
too. Because the mom was very prim and proper,
Yeah.
and now she's like sitting like this,
Yeah.
her legs open, and like like it's really hard to do that, and I think they executed it beautifully.
It was truly like a great cast.
It was,
Yeah.
it really was.
Even the
Um,
ensemble, I mean, there's so
oh,
many
yeah.
faces that, we love.
There's so
Yeah.
many people that played. Some of our friends played multiple characters, and I thought it was So
We need to
funny.
talk about him.
Like, yeah, I think we do because
Andy Garcia. I mean, he's something else on stage.
I think
mean,
saying his name alone is like you know what we're talking about.
I'm sorry, Andy Swag. There you go. That's gonna
Yeah.
roll off the tongue a little bit better. Andy is such an incredible actor and performer.
Yeah.
He never does the same thing in like a weekend of performances. Every single day he tries to do something different, and that's what I love about him.
I feel like he always tries to one up himself.
Yes.
Like he's like, okay, I made you laugh with this, but let me see if I can make you laugh even harder
Yeah.
with this.
He's so funny.
The demand that he has on stage.
Yeah.
Like the presence. That's
Yeah.
what I'm looking
Yes.
for. The presence he has on stage is just out of this world.
The
bro. Like,
first night that we were there, I mean, he came out and the crowd went nuts.
Yeah.
Everybody started like cheering for him, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
But
and he
I
hadn't even
mean,
spoken. Like he
yeah.
literally just walked out. It was so great. And oh my god, I loved him so much.
No, yeah, I borderline like teared up on that part where he was the teacher and everyone was dancing around him. He was just like,
What's going on?
Yeah.
that mustache.
That
Great on him.
mustache. I mean,
Fantastic.
Yeah, it did. Oh my god. Going back to like the dance element, like the performance elements. I'll
Yeah.
talk about dancing because I really do think Ricky stepped it up this year.
yes, he did.
I think he saw what he did in Mamma Mia. He saw what he did with Newsies, and I think he really stepped it up and was like, okay, like I'm gonna bring you something new, but you're
Yeah.
gonna know like this is my choreography.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I love, truly love about him is that he puts his mark on every
Yeah.
single thing that he does. And like you know, like when you see a musical against another one, you know, okay,
That's
that
a Ricky
choreographed
show.
that one. And I think he's found his way into that, and it's not easy to do that. And I think, and these kids really and truly respect him. Like as being someone that he's choreographed, and then seeing these kids watch him choreograph this show.
Mhm.
I think it was just so beautiful to see how much these kids look up to him and appreciate what he does, because he does this out of the kindness of his own heart.
Yeah.
And he just truly loves what he does, and he loves these kids, and he loves doing these shows, and I just love that. I love people who are passionate about something enough to do it for free, like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because they want to.
And we really love him. He can walk into a room and make somebody smile like in a split
Instantly.
second. He's a ball of sunshine.
One thing I do like about Ricky is that he adds like stunts.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're not necessarily like, oh my god, like throw you up in there and flip, but like they're not just dancing. Like he always adds like that wow factor.
yeah.
And they had
The
several
flips
moments.
and the tricks, and I love
They
that.
had several moments like that in the show, and I think that really added to the overall performance of it,
Mhm.
especially in the group numbers. All right, so we're gonna talk about our favorite musical numbers, which is my favorite part. So do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
It can go. Do you want to go?
I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
You're our guest, Billy.
Okay,
You're our guest. so
okay.
You do yours first.
So the one scene, because I guess I'm a sucker for like really emotional, like emotion-packed scenes. Like I love choreography and all that stuff. That's great,
Yeah.
and really elaborate numbers. But the emotion-driven songs and scenes are what really sells me. And after all of this and everything, yeah, that was a song that like just really it got me, because I mean the relationship between, at the time it's still the sister and her brother, they start to learn that they really do care for each other and that they love each other, and it's just so touching because I mean I have a brother and sister of my own, and so like I could really relate to that and it resonated with me.
Oh.
But I mean the singing was amazing, and I mean just the spotlight on Haley and her singing to Fletcher.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just, I wanted to tear up at the end.
Okay, so my favorite song was Busted because I adored the choreography, and it was such a light song, and like it was really fun. I truly loved the choreography for that song, and how much fun Haley and Fatima were having in that song. It looked like they really enjoyed it, and to be quite honest, it looked like that was a choreography that was the strongest
yeah.
to me.
Okay, so y'all are gonna see this coming, but my favorite song from the musical was "What You Got," which is the song that Haley's character sings after she's just switched into her daughter's body.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as her daughter in her body, right? So, I think it's just a really like feel good song, and it's not really supposed to be about technique. Like, I feel like the song allows you to kind of be free with it and kind of like do fun things. So
Yeah.
it's not really about the song itself. It's more about what's happening in the song, and it comes at the time when they just switched, and she has to explain to the reporter who's reporting about their wedding, but she doesn't know anything about it because she's not the one that has been planning it for all those months.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Yeah.
Haley really did an amazing job with it. It was so funny, and all the harmonies in that song were so on point.
Right?
And I think the people on stage really worked well together, and it just brought it all together. And I think it was just a great moment in the show overall.
Okay, so now it's time for our first diamond in the rough for this week. It's gonna be Alejandra Tames.
Yeah.
She is a student at Mac High, and she's going into.
I believe her sophomore year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, so.
I think this was another moment where we were like, okay, we got in the car after the show and we were like, okay, let's pick.
Yeah.
And I think we did that with all the shows that we saw this summer because we just wanted it to be
Fresh
set.
from our minds.
Yeah,
You know?
we wanted it to be set, so when we made the videos, we'd be like, okay, like we know that this is who it was,
Yeah.
and this is who stood out to us. And I think I even told her this the second time we saw it, but I
Mhm.
literally could not take my eyes off of her when she was on
Yeah.
stage. She's a great dancer, and I think she always finds, like, because we've seen her in shows at Mac High, and I
Yeah.
feel like she always finds that one little quirk that
Mhm.
kind of is hers, like her character.
Yeah.
And I think she really did a great job with that.
She's truly a light on stage. I
Yeah.
mean, your eyes go directly to her.
Yeah.
She's such and you can see the passion behind, her work, and it's so
And-
great.
And it's really cool to see someone her age take this so seriously.
I know.
Mhm.
Because even in rehearsals, like, I mean, I feel like, yeah, I mean, you have fun at rehearsal and, like,
Yeah.
you know, do goofy stuff with your friends, but, like, I feel like she was always on it, and she always knew where she was supposed to be, when she was supposed to do it, and how she was supposed to do it.
She was very professional about it. you
And
know?
I think that's really beautiful to see someone take such an initiative when it comes
Yeah,
to something.
and it's
like that.
difficult for a lot of people to have a demanding stage presence. Sometimes they have to work at it, for
Yeah.
a while. But for her, it just seems like it comes naturally,
Mhm.
She
Yeah.
just commands such a great stage presence. Like, it's really refreshing. So,
Yeah.
it's
and
great.
I think the chemistry that her and Alexia had with Fatima
Yeah.
Yes.
was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I felt like they were a group of friends. Like, I
Yeah.
felt like they had been friends forever, and that's what they were showing on stage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, I think, well, congratulations to
Mhm.
Alejandra.
I can't wait to see what she does next
I
year.
know, I'm super
And I
excited.
know that they're doing The Lion King, so I'm
Yes.
excited to see what
Yes.
she's in,
It's gonna be awesome.
She has a bright future ahead of her.
Well, I think that's it for today. This Thursday, we are gonna be releasing another review, and it's for a play, our first play that we've done. It's gonna be for Significant Other at the Camille Playhouse. It's their second main stage from this past summer, so that was a great show. So that's gonna be a review
It really was.
to watch.
I'm excited for that one for
Yeah.
obvious reasons, but you guys will find out if you watch the next video.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. We hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned on Thursday for our next review. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Is it shined or shone?
I think it's shine.
Shine.
Everybody
Shines.
shined.
I think so. Shine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just say
because shown is like it was shown. Yeah, I don't know whatever.
Yeah.
Shine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to say?
Yeah, you can do it.
Okay.
Check it.
Yeah, and everybody shown. Please,
We just had a new bloopers.
we just went over this too. God darn it. Okay, let's go back.